こんにちは、ゆうこ先生です。Today I want to answer one of the most common questions that I receive from my students. What is san? You may have seen this san added to a name in Japanese as in Suzuki-san. What is it and why do we use it in Japanese? Let's learn how to properly address people in Japanese culture in today's lesson. では、始めましょう。This san is a generic title that we add to other people's names to show respect. When we address other people in Japanese, we usually indicate what the person is in relation to us. If the person is a manager to you, you add 部長 to the name, as in Suzuki 部長. If the person is a teacher, you add 先生 as in Suzuki Sensei. If the person is a president of the company, then you add 社長 and then say Suzuki 社長. If there is no specific position or role the person holds towards you, then you use san. San can be added to the person's first name or last name. In a formal setting such as a workplace, we normally use the person's last name, as in Suzuki-san. If we have a personal relationship with the person, such as friends, then we use the person's first name, as in Kenta-san. As a grown-up, we do not call other people by the name alone, like Suzuki or Kenta, unless we have already established a very close relationship with that person. Basically, you can call other people by the name alone only when the person is your brother or sister, a very close friend in the same age group, or somebody younger than you that you look after or supervise. For instance, if you are a soccer coach in high school, it's okay for you to call your players by their names alone. Other than those limited circumstances, calling other people just by the name without san is called 呼び捨て in Japanese and considered to be very rude. So unless you are already very close to the person, be sure to add san to the name. Then you can avoid the risk of offending someone and will sound like a respectful adult. There are other variations of this san. For instance, when we are talking to our customer, we have to be super respectful to the person. Therefore, we add sama to the customer's name, as in Suzuki-sama. This sama is the super polite version of san. Also, please keep in mind that in Japan, we address our customers only by their last name and never by their first name. Another variation is this. If the person is a male and is either in the same age group as you or younger than you, then you can call him with kun, as in Suzuki-kun. In my school days from elementary school to high school, I called most of the boys in my class with kun. Also, if you are talking to a young boy, such as your nephew or your friend's son, then you can use kun for his first name, as in Kenta-kun. On the other hand, when the speaker is a male, he may use kun to call anybody, both men and women, who are younger than him. So for instance, if you work in a Japanese company, your boss who is a male may call you Suzuki-kun even though you are a woman. There is one more variation of san, which is chan. This is a very informal and intimate version, and we normally add chan to the person's first name. chan can be used for both boys and girls. You can also use chan to talk to very young children. But when you call another person with chan who is no longer a little child, you must have a very close and informal friendship with the person. We usually make such friends in our childhood or in school, right? Because in those days, we are still free from social norms and expectations. So I would say perhaps up to college, it's easy to make a friend who you can address with chan. However, once you finish your school days and enter society as a respectful adult, then it gets harder to call another adult with chan. As a result, san becomes the most common way to address other people. I have made many good friends in my adulthood, but the majority of the friends call me Yuko-san. On the other hand, most of my childhood friends still call me Yuko-chan. As a grown-up, no matter how close we have become to each other, we try to express our respect to each other and tend to use san. It's not always a matter of politeness or formality. It's more about respect for another person. In Japanese, we have an old saying, したしきなかにもれいぎあり. There should be courtesy even between close friends. Most of the respectful adults in the culture live their lives according to this teaching and try to show respect to each other even in close friendship. Now you know what san is and why we use it. San is a generic title that we use for other people's names to show respect. It should be used only for other people and never for yourself, okay? So if your name is Mike, for example, I can call you Mike-san, but you can never refer to yourself as Mike-san. If you add san to your own name and then say, I am Mike-san, it sounds really weird in Japanese. Please be careful not to do it, okay? Also, if the person has a specific role to you, then be sure to address the person with the specific title and not with san. For instance, if Suzuki is your manager, then do not call him or her Suzuki-san. It's not appropriate, okay? Instead, you have to say Suzuki 部長 or Suzuki manager. As for me, since I am your teacher, please call me Yuko Sensei instead of Yuko-san. Today we learned these 4 terms to add to other people's names. San, sama, kun, chan. I hope the lesson was helpful and you now know how to address other people properly in Japanese. Okay, here's a question for you to wrap up today's lesson. Let's say this is you, a 30-year-old male. Then, how would you address these 4 people? 1. Yamada, your coworker who is 35 years old. 2. Kumi, your friend's daughter who is 7 years old. 3. Takashi, your friend from middle school who is now 30 years old. 4. Kojima, your Aikido instructor who is 52 years old. Can you figure out how to address these people in Japanese? Let me hear your answers in the comment section. こんにちは、ゆうこ先生です。日本語オンライン学校スマイル日本語アカデミーで日本語を教えています。I have been teaching Japanese to English-speaking learners in the USA for many years, and now I provide online courses for learners worldwide. In my courses, you can learn Japanese in your spare time at your own pace. The lessons are structured in a step-by-step manner, making them easy to follow for learners. You can access multiple courses with a Smile Nihongo Learning Pass. There are 2 kinds of passes, so you can choose one that fits your level and needs. Find more information about the program at smilenihongo.com/learningpass. ではまた次のレッスンで会いましょう。